Yeah, I love working. I've been working all my life since I was 10 years old.
I mean, that's what we get up every morning for.
Well, it keeps you going. When you get older, you got to keep moving. So my motto is keep moving.
I feel important. I feel like I'm a part of something, some part of a work family outside the home. I look forward to seeing all my coworkers when I see them, so working, it means a lot to me.
Home means is a place where you have a place to rest, a key, something you call your own.
Home means stability, a place to just relax. Your home should be your sanctuary, feel comfortable. I think home should be safety and sanctuary, and that's how I feel living here.
Home is a place to grow, a place to live, and a place to learn. A home is the core.
I don't have to worry about where I'm going, put it that way. I don't have to, where am I gonna sleep? Where is home tonight?
Caritas, they get me the opportunity and they show me that they can help and they can bring you to another level.
Whether it's homelessness, whether it's addiction, you can always get help. You can always, bounce back, and there are places, especially like this place, that will help you,
Welcome to Caritas Community's 35th Annual Gala. Thank you for joining us from home in this very unusual year. My name is Karen Castle-Mitterando, and I'm the Executive Director of Caritas Communities. I am joined tonight by Andrew Brown, Caritas resident, who I'm thrilled to have as my co-host.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I first would like to say thank you for making this gala safe, a very safe experience. We've been tested. The crew's been tested. They're masked. I think that's great, and I'm appreciative of that. And we're socially, physically distanced. It's all good.
Mm-hmm. We're not only doing our best here, but throughout all of our properties to keep people safe and well during the pandemic.
I appreciate that because I am one of the very fortunate individuals of the 1,000, one of the 1,000, who lives in a beautiful brownstone on Beacon Street, and Caritas is helping me. And I am grateful for being in one of the 33 Caritas properties in Greater Boston.
For those new to us, Caritas Communities is a housing provider dedicated to preventing homelessness in Greater Boston. We do this through permanent housing that is affordable to our lowest income neighbors, along with what I call the scaffolding, or the supportive programs residents need to be successful through challenging times. This year, we are highlighting the residents of Caritas who work hard but struggle to earn enough for market rate housing. 75% of our residents have experienced homelessness. Many of these residents are the essential workers we've heard so much about this year, and many were laid off during the shutdown and are seriously struggling. Right now, it's more important than ever to support our residents and keep them in their safe housing. Regardless of where the state policy ends up, Caritas will not evict residents who are behind on rent for COVID-related reasons. But we need your help to do this. Andrew, please tell us about yourself. What do you do when you're not co-hosting?
Well, I was a substitute teacher for a few years in Boston, and now I am a full-time teacher, and I'm pretty excited about that. I teach in middle school, mostly sixth graders, and it's a current events class called What's Going On. And even though I can't interact in person, we're all virtual, it's still something that's very worthwhile and I'm enthused about.
Fantastic. And how did you come to live at Caritas?
Well, I had entered into a contracted agreement with a resident and a landlord, and the other resident defaulted materially, and so I found myself without a place to live. Knowing that, I went directly to Pine Street Inn, and I said, hey, will you tell me what to do to not end up here? And folks at the Pine Street Inn said there are multiple resources in Boston that you need to begin to access. One of those resources pointed me to Caritas Communities, said you need to apply. And I did. And I'm glad about that. Between then and becoming a Caritas member, I was living in hostels, Karen, 4, 6, 8 to a room. It was just a lot of people in tight quarters, and I am glad not to have to live in that setting.
Absolutely. I can't imagine during a pandemic living in such close quarters without private space. Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome. And I tell you, that ability, Karen, to go into a private space, lock my door, Caritas has given me, in this time of pandemic, relative security. And I tell you, I am thankful to Caritas communities because they've saved and preserved my life. I'm grateful.
We make good partners.
I think so. Thank you.
Absolutely. And we are so happy to have you, our supporters, joining the Gala from home. Tonight, we'll share stories of triumph, celebrate, and honor some incredible humanitarians. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsors, who truly make what we do possible.
We especially want to thank this year's lead sponsor, Avalon Bay, for their outstanding generosity this year.
Thank you, Avalon Bay, for caring so profoundly for our neighbors in need. We'd also like to thank our very generous partners and permanent sponsors, including Cambridge Savings Bank,
The P. Leo and Helen A. Corcoran Foundation,
the John and Mary Corcoran Family Foundation,
and thank you, Rick High and Ann Perkins.
Thank you all for your critical and generous support of the work we do. Thank you for believing in us.
Now, let's meet Kimya Tull, a Caritas resident who works as a case manager for the Boston Rescue Mission, helping homeless women find employment, housing, and the resources they need to stabilize.
Before I lived here, I had a one-bedroom in Hyde Park. Unfortunately, that apartment building burnt down on Christmas 2017. So I had nothing, no clothes, no nothing, just left with clothes on my back and my cat. It was a life-awakening experience. There wasn't really a lot of options out there. I mean, finding an apartment, it was taken too, I was running out of time. If I didn't move here, I would have been moving to a shelter. I live here now at 20 Cynics, so I was very grateful for that. Early April, I was still working at the shelter. We were hearing about the COVID, but I just knew that I had to just keep working because, you know, those women can't leave the shelter, and well, they can, but they have nowhere else to go. And so I ended up helping a lady, older lady, and with her bags and everything. And then the next day she tested positive, and so I asked my boss if I can go get tested, and I came up positive. There was a brief period during that quarantine where it really got scary. So I just kind of meditated and listened to classical music and tried to get my mind off of, you know, not being able to breathe. The building manager, he would leave me stuff in front of my door. Nancy Barrows, the resident services coordinator, would call and offer me any help regarding rental assistance. She really helped with my, you know, anxieties towards that level of, you know, when you're sick and you're worrying about paying your rent and stuff, it's just, you know, it's stressful. I love living here. It's quiet, it's nice, it's well kept. Everybody cares around here, you know, everybody looks after you, and so to be sitting here was a miracle for me in all shapes and sizes and forms.
Wow, that is an inspiring story. I mean, to recover and to have somebody, an organization there to support you and help you recover and recoup, that's phenomenal.
Such a powerful story. I'm so glad that our resident services coordinator, Nancy Barrows, was there for Kimya to help her connect to food and rental assistance and lower her anxiety when she was sick and quarantined. The reality is most of our residents were struggling to make ends meet before the pandemic, and now many have lost work and are suffering not only financially, but with their mental health. Our support team has been in high gear for 9 months, on the front line, helping residents with unemployment and SNAP benefits, rental assistance, connecting them to food pantries and other critical resources. These positions are 100% funded by you. Thank you.
Please be inspired by what you see. And if you are inspired, please consider a donation to help Caritas continue its work. It's easy to donate. All donations will support our residents during these challenging times through our support services and rental assistance program. Between the loss of employment and the uptick in mental health issues, the need has never been greater.
So true, Andrew. Thank you. And next, we're going to meet Caritas resident Greg Stevenson, who works at Home Depot in Somerville.
So my story came from a pretty traditional family in Metro West, went to college, and that's kind of where I ran into issues. I picked up a drug and alcohol habit. I spent a very long time honing that craft to the point where all my friends and family wanted nothing to do with me. I kind of burnt all my bridges. And after about 15 years of doing that, I ended up homeless on the street, sleeping in parking garages, on benches. Eventually one day I decided it was enough and I kind of checked myself into rehab. And that was my first introduction to recovery. I was 33 years old. Early sobriety, going to meetings, going to doctors. There's a few names that kept coming up. YMCA was one of them, and Caritas Communities. I went and saw them all, and this one just kind of felt the most right. I was just starting at my new job. I wasn't making a lot of money. I was making like $13 an hour, but I was working 80 hours a week. I was working as much and as hard as possible to afford whatever I needed to afford. I was just trying to get myself up off the ground. Now I'm 36, so I'm about 3 years clean and sober coming up in October. I was done with the rigid structure of the early recovery phases. I felt comfortable enough on my own, and this kind of gave me that space, and I needed that space to do more. I just attained one of my goals, which was to get a vehicle, which has made my life just that much easier. And again, it comes to opportunity. It frees up time in my life, and it allows me to do extra side jobs, or it just makes life easier. I work at the Somerville Home Depot. I work on the pro desk, which is like the contractor desk, and I think that all people need structure to a certain point, and work gives me that. And I'm the type where when something's really bothering me, I just like dive really deep into something. And it used to be drugs and alcohol, but now I have, my life and work. I just want to get 3 years out of it. Caritas has been an amazing place for me to get my feet on the ground, and it gave me the space that I needed to grow. And I think it's an amazing organization that offers a lot to the community. I mean, and here I am.
Wow, what a story. I mean, Greg, strong, recovering, and then has a place to meet him and to bring that strength up. Caritas is just awesome. This is an awesome setting.
And as are our residents, they bring that strength, and Caritas brings the opportunity to the residents. I'm so grateful we're here for you, Kimya, Greg, and hundreds of others.
Now, we'd like to thank our Strength and Stability and Haven of Hope sponsors, who you will see scrolling across your screen.
Caritas relies on the generosity of our charitable partners in order to do our important work.
Karen, how much does Caritas need to raise in charitable giving?
So that's a great question. Currently, rent covers about 80% of our operating expenses. The other 20% comes from private charitable donations. But we need to grow our budget because our buildings age, and we have many capital needs to maintain safe, functional, and dignified homes for our residents. We also must continue to grow our resident services programs to meet the increasing need for support, especially during these tough times. Fully funded, it costs only $2,300 in charitable donations to house and support one resident for 1 year.
$2,300 does not sound like a a lot of money to prevent homelessness in the greater Boston area.
That's right. That's right. So especially compared to the more than $30,000 it costs society to care for one homeless person for a year. That's the beauty of the Caritas model. Residents partner with us by paying a rent they can afford. Donors make an investment, which fills the small gap between housing and homelessness. And it works. Our founder, P. Leo Corcoran, was a true visionary who built Caritas on this concept 35 years ago.
Okay, everybody, now let's celebrate 35 years of preventing homelessness. Karen, what is all of this?
We're about to find out. For those of you at home who have a celebration kit, please take out your mocktail kit now. And I would love to introduce you to John at Mac's Ultimate Food, a premier caterer in Boston. John, take it away.
Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for joining us this evening. The mocktail we're making this evening is called a Paloma Darling. We're just going to gather our favorite wine glasses, some ice, and a cocktail shaker if you have it. If not, we can just use a glass with a large spoon. So the very first thing I'd like to do is to introduce one ingredient, which will be the smoked sea salt. I went ahead and poured the smoked sea salt on a saucer to have a little sniff. It is incredible. It's really beautiful.
Really smells good.
So you have the smoked sea salt. I'll proceed and just take our first wine glass, and slowly I'll just gently rim the edge of the wine glass.
Okay, great.
So we'll just take the glass and just dip it in gently, not too much. And once the sea salt has attached, you'll just tap the glass a few times gently so you don't get any of the salt on your rug.
Great trick.
I went ahead and filled my shaker with about 80% ice.
Okay.
So I have the ice ready.
All right.
We'll proceed with the first ingredient. What I love about this beverage is there's a sweet and sour yin and yang combination to this. So the very first will be ruby red grapefruit. We'll go ahead and open that container.
So easy.
So I'll go ahead with the grapefruit.
Great. I love ruby red grapefruit.
Our second wonderful tea, the pronunciation is called rooibos tea.
Rooibos tea.
It looks just like this. It's a little red in color. So we'll go ahead and add the tea. This combination in the mocktail is really fantastic.
Great.
So the third ingredient we would add this evening will be the honey ginger simple syrup.
Great.
Very good.
The final wet ingredient will be the fresh lemon juice. So,
John, this lemon juice is really fresh. You should have heard it earlier.
if you have a shaker, it's wonderful. It will blend all these ingredients nicely together. If not, just using a tall glass with a spoon is just as good, actually. So I'll proceed and just go ahead and shake. With this also, we'll go ahead and take the shaker, and with the ice cubes, we're not straining it, we'll proceed and just add it to the glass. I like to go to about the 80% of the glass, leaving 20% for the club soda to be added.
Okay.
So you can take your can of club soda, and now we're just adding a little carbonation, so this is a lot of fun.
Great. You said 20%?
Yeah, about 20% of the club soda.
Okay.
Wonderful. The final ingredient, just to garnish this, will be a nice slice of ginger. And it's not a competition, just have fun with this. There you go. It is called the Paloma Darling.
Paloma Darling.
Go inside.
The ingredients in your kit is enough for 2 mocktails.
It's fantastic,
Really
John.
smells great.
And I'll just place it right here and enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, so here we are celebrating 35 years of preventing homelessness, improving lives, one room at a time.
Cheers.
Cheers. And cheers to everyone at home. Thank you for all you do for Caritas communities.
My name is Dean Dednam, and I'm the house manager here at 436 Dudley Street. I do house management, make sure the property is maintained, make sure things in the properties working, make sure the tenants don't have any problems. There's been a lot of improvements here.
My job is a property manager for Caritas Communities. Work to me means, in a philosophical sense, helping those that are less fortunate to really stabilize and live productive lives in their communities.
My man.
As a group, we try to support all of our residents and staff to make sure that Caritas is the best that it can be in that regard.
The type of employees we have, they're so caring and compassionate about what we do, is unbelievable.
Many of the people that are on our team have been affected by homelessness in some manner, if not directly, people that they know have, and it really does motivate them to be committed to what they're doing. They want to do the best thing that they can.
I am a resident service coordinator. Just seeing how individuals are so happy for what they got. A lot of people come from the street for 20, 30 years and they was given an opportunity to try it again. So those little things count.
I enjoy working for Caritas. They're a good outfit to work for. They're good people.
But anytime they need anything done, like, I'll do anything for them. Gail knows that.
Specifically during a time of COVID, we've had to step up our efforts in terms of looking for additional resources to support our residents in terms of job loss and food insecurity, and we've done a heck of a job at doing that.
Caritas has, really stepped forward and saying, well, what can we do to help?
Most of the people around here, we know each other, and I'm still not aware of anybody being sick here. And so far, bless God, we've been good at this location.
I believe the residents feel safe living here at the Bedford Veterans Quarters. We're just hoping for a point in time when the campus can be reopened and life can have some kind of normalcy.
I put myself on the other people's shoes. That's what I want for me as a person. Place to live so that I can plan my own life, so that I can help the other.
Every day at Caritas, I feel deeply honored to work with such dedicated and compassionate people. They are truly awesome. This year, we are presenting the P. Leo Corcoran Humanitarian Award for community service to our own frontline staff, those working in our houses and directly with residents throughout the pandemic relentlessly. We recently gathered over Zoom to present this award.
Thank you, Karen. It wouldn't be 2020 if we weren't on a Zoom call trying to coordinate all this. It's appropriate given all the dislocation we've had this year. But I guess this is the next best thing. So Linda and I are thrilled to present the P. Leo Corcoran Humanitarian Award to all of you folks who have had such an extraordinary year of service to those who are less fortunate. And that's really what this award is about. And we couldn't think of any more deserving group than the folks in this phone who've been battling at the front line for 7 or 8 months now through this whole COVID event. It really is an amazing set of tasks and accomplishments. Given all the challenges we face, our ability to really bring even more service to our residents who are really in the most vulnerable places in society. So you do absolutely personify what Caritas is all about, what this award is all about, and we couldn't be more happy to be presenting it to you folks today. So thank you.
Knowing P. Leo Corcoran and what's behind, he hired me so many years ago, so to be associated with that and with this really hits a special spot for me.
I just wanted to add, looking at all these faces and even the team that couldn't make it, it fills me with pride to be part of this team. I am so glad I'm here and call you all my colleagues.
I'd just like to say that it's been a rewarding, challenging experience, and I'm glad I can contribute.
If it wasn't for Caritas at the beginning, I wouldn't have had a place to live. I lived in Arlington for 5 years, and then I got the job to give back.
Yeah, I'd just like to express my appreciation for being a part of this amazing team. It was very eye-opening and learning experience when COVID hit, and I just want to personally thank the RSC team for putting up with me, trying to get those daily reports in. I really appreciate it and proud to be a part of this team.
I really enjoy the team that I work for. I'm thankful that, that I'm here with you guys. I'm able to work with the residents every day to help serve them and to make their lives better.
Thank you so much for the recognition and the awards that we got. We all really appreciate it. I just want to point out that this is a property that is staffed 24/7. So thank you to the guys that work evenings and nights and weekends through this whole COVID pandemic.
I especially want to thank and express my gratitude to my team. I mean, what a gracious and positive attitude that you all extend, not only to me, but to each other and to our properties. It is an absolute joy to work with this entire team.
Thanks, everyone.
Great to see you all. Be safe.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
All right,
Stay
take
well,
care.
everyone.
Take care. Great day, everyone.
Have a great day.
It's so appropriate that our staff received this award in 2020. They've stepped up in such a big way for our residents this year, as they do every year. Andrew, as you look ahead, what are your hopes and dreams?
Well, Karen, short term, I'd love to be the official voice-over voice for anything related to Boston in media. Long term, I'd like to be instrumental in establishing a program and approach to governing, whereas the Caritas model is integral to all things civic, to all things in terms of relating to the populace. I think that would be vital. I'd love to be part of that.
And that is certainly something we can all get behind. Thank you, Andrew. You're welcome. Thank you.
So, Karen, what are your hopes and dreams for Caritas?
So as we think short term and long term, the goals are actually fairly similar. We are looking to bring all of our homes up to the Caritas standard of excellence and continue to expand our resident services program, including our rental assistance fund. These are vital to fully supporting our residents. We also need to grow our portfolio. We know that the solution to homelessness is permanent housing with support. Caritas housing is not meeting all of the need right now. So we are actively looking for opportunities to grow.
Well, look, if you'd like to help Caritas, if you have any connection to what we do, how I am helped, how the thousands are helped, please give a gift. And a gift in any amount will help our residents with rent and with other vital supports. I assure you that the residents of Caritas appreciate your generosity, and I speak personally, and I bring you that from residents with whom I've spoken about the positive, life-saving, life-giving impact of Caritas in their lives. It makes a huge difference in my life and in our lives.
Thank you, Andrew, for joining us tonight. And thank you to our many sponsors, our staff, and our production team, and to all of our viewers tonight for taking the time to celebrate 35 years with us. Stay safe and stay well.
Yes, thank you, Carmen. Thank you, everyone. Please stay safe, stay well.